how to make these duct tape roses. They're actually a lot easier to make than you would think. So to make these, we used black duct tape, and for the stems, we used silver duct tape, which you don't necessarily have to cover up the stems, but it depends on how you're going to be arranging your flowers and what you're using. We used lollipop sticks. You can also use straws or floral wire, which is great if you're going to stick it in a vase with like some floral foam to do a bouquet that way. So to start out, to make one rose, you're going to need at least 20 pieces of the black duct tape. Before we do that though, I'm going to show you how to cover this up so that it looks like that. So with the silver tape, if you're going to cover a straw or a lollipop stick, just measure enough to cover most of the stem. You don't have to cover it all because part of it is going to be covered by the rose. So we'll just cut a length off here. Now to make it look neat, start at the very edge.
You're going to want to put the stick right on the edge of the tape and secure it by pressing down on it.
And then you're going to roll it. So that way it'll look nice and neat and tightly rolled. So when you're done, you're going to have something that looks like this. So now you're ready to cut your tape. I would start, you need 20 pieces of black duct tape, 3 inches long. So you'll cut those out. I recommend sticking them to like the side of a table before you start. And then you're going to make petals, which look like this when they're finished. So to make your petal, you're going to take the right corner of your tape and fold it up to form a triangle, but you're going to leave a little border free so it looks like that. Next, you're going to take that corner right here and you're going to fold it so that it comes up this way and forms your triangle. So now you've got a nice little arrow, like so. And that is one petal. When you're building your rose, your first petal you start with. You ready to go there, Kim?
Working on it.
Okay. You could have just taken one of these that's already done.
I should have.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Again, duct tape is very forgiving, so if it's not perfect, you can unstick it and restick it. So, here we go. Okay.
All right, now you'll take to make your first we're going to make the bud of the rose. So you start here at the very corner, and then you tightly roll it.
So at the corner, you put the top of the stick right at it?
Yes, and then you tightly roll it across. So when you're done, you'll have a nice little rose bud.
Oh, I'm crooked.
Or you should have a nice little rose bud.
There we go. Okay.
Yes, like that. That's what you're going to build the foundation of your rose around.
So where do we start the next one at?
Now for this, here is the front of your rose. You're going to start by putting this right here.
Okay, so you kind of want it facing it.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to wrap it around.
Okay.
And then your next one, you're going to take it in the opposite direction. So we started that one, so it goes around this way. We're going to start this one and wrap it around this way. So now you've got a nice size little center for your rose to build the petals around. When I first made my first duct tape rose, which is part of this bouquet, I had so much in the center that I didn't have enough to build out your rose on the side. So now I've learned from my mistake.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Now we're going to make the petals to go around the rose. You can just kind of what I do is kind of hold this around and figure out where I want it to go. So it kind of,
Adds to it.
yeah. So see what I did there? So I've got one here, and I'm going to put one here, and then one here on the side, and then one here.
And
You can play around with how you place it, but you don't want it to be too tight so that you want your rose to start opening up.
And you can cut extra pieces of tape to add to your rose too, so they can be bigger.
See, it's not so tight now, so it's starting to,
Oh, mine still is kind of tight, I'm not sure. I'm placing mine is.
well, the problem is we're sharing the same number of petals. I mean,
That's true.
because we didn't cut out 40. So we're not going to make a full rose. It's just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like.
There we go. She's had a lot more practice than I have, but.
No, I haven't. I'm a novice. I'm an absolute novice. This is like the first time I've ever done this. No.
This right here. Should I go down a little lower? Is that why am I going up too high on this?
Possibly. You need to stagger it a little bit too. So maybe do something like that. See?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So now you've got your foundation. So this is what our roses are starting to look like, and you'll just keep building and you can make it full as you want. Use 20 to 24 to make a rose. You can make them even bigger, but that's the standard size to make something like what we have here. See, very easy to do, and they come in all kinds of different colors. So you can do red like a traditional, you can do teal, purple, yellow, so you can be as creative as you want to. But it's very easy to do and a nice alternative to traditional silk roses. And it's a lot of fun to make with your teenage daughter as a fun craft at home.
Or a niece or sister.
So that was how you make your duct tape rose.